who is Dolly Khanna? And that's what we're going to see in video. Are you curious to know who this magical lady in the stock market is? Let's dwell in. Who is Dolly Khanna? That's the name that ardent stock followers in India have been hearing for 2 decades and more. Dolly Khanna is the stock market wizard from Chennai who has been in the market since 1996 and has churned up multi-baggers one after another, series of multi-baggers. It's almost as if she has a Midas touch. Anything she touches turns to gold. That's what Dolly Khanna is. But let's go back and find out where it all started. It's also rumored that it's just not Dolly Khanna, but it's her husband Rajiv Khanna who is actually the man behind the portfolio, although all the purchases are done in the name of Dolly Khanna. Rajiv Khanna is an IIT Madras chemical engineer who founded a company called Quality Milk Foods, ran it for some time, eventually selling it off to Hindustan Lever in the year 1995. With the money that he realized and the couple realized, they started their journey of investing in stocks. In those early days of stock market, which were very, very imperfect, a lot of obscurity, no clarity, and so on and so forth, the couple were quick to realize that there were some tenets that they were going to go after. The first thing, what is the strategy that one must adopt when you buy stocks? And here is where they had a very, very clear understanding, and they went with a philosophy that Peter Lynch, the investment guru, had explained. Peter Lynch said, buy businesses that you have personal experience with using products or services so that you know what the outcome of the companies is going to be. And you have a first-hand information on that. And that's exactly what this couple did. So whatever product they used or saw on their own and found growth, that's where they invested. So to a large extent, a lot of their portfolios early on were in basic industries like sugar, commodities, textiles, which they were able to experience firsthand. They also experienced the fact that you had to make investments and wait for it to kind of appreciate over a period of time. There are times, one of their investment, Rain Industries, is a company that was growing really, really well. But in the stock market, it was getting hammered. Fortunately for them, they had the conviction and they kept buying every time it went down to a point where the stock turned. Stock markets, as they say, is like a weighing machine in the long run and like a voting machine in the short run. So in the short run, it can turn any which way, but in the long run, it never lies. And that's what Dolly Khanna has been using as a weapon to buy. The third is that they went into consumer-facing businesses. And one classical example is in 2014, they bought Nilkamal, yes, the office furniture business which was looking at growing at that point in time. They picked it up very early and they made a sizable investment in that company through buying stocks. And in 3 years' time, they realized over 900% return on their investment. That's the kind of multi-bagger that Dolly Khanna has been able to achieve. Today, it is rumored that the portfolio, which started up as a couple of lakhs in the early 1996-97, is now worth upwards of 350 crores. Yes, you heard me right. That's 350 crores. That's a lot of money. And they have an investment portfolio that spans across a variety of different industries. Now, there are huge learnings that one can make out of the way Dolly Khanna handles their portfolio, and a couple of key learnings that we can take away from this. One is that they've always got into small caps or businesses that are growing. They've not gone for the blue chips. They've gone for businesses that are still growing, that are still have a growth ahead of them. So it involves you to take some risks, do some homework, and then put your money where your mouth is. That's what they have done. And that's the reason why they get these big multi-bagger returns going for them. Second is they have deep conviction. Any investment that they make after a thorough research. So there's deep conviction in what they buy. And for some reason, if the stock still goes down, they pick up something more. So that way, it's not like they're going to lose money in the long term. Temporarily, they may be down, but in the long term, they kind of make it up. Third, they stay invested for a reasonably long period. They're holding, one of their early investment was into a company called Unitech, where they invested 5 lakhs. Over a period of time, that 5 lakh investment became 25 crores. And they're willing to stay the course and realize that kind of gains. And that's where it matters for you to be a patient investor and examine your stock and stay invested. Fourth, they do make some losses sometimes. Of course, you can't get it all right, but they don't allow those losses to come in the way of their investment portfolio. They take it as an occupational hazard and keep going with it. And last but not the least is their abiding conviction in stocks as a wealth multiplier has made sure that in spite of a journey of well over 25-30 years, they continue to be very active holding on to stocks. They are not traders, they are investors. They continue to hold small and up and coming companies, and that's the way they have been able to get their multi-baggers. So that's the story of Dolly Khanna from the conservative Chennai, who has made billions out of stocks.